When it comes to drafting Ohio State quarterbacks, many people go away from making that move because they believe Buckeye quarterbacks are not successful in the National Football League. Well, Justin Fields and CJ Stroud could put together a tag team effort to begin to change that narrative in 2023.
You are Locked On Buckeyes, your daily podcast on the Ohio State Buckeyes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Buckeye fans? Welcome back to another episode of Locked On Buckeyes for the Locked On Podcast Network. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, also the host of the Jay Stevens Podcast. It is Wednesday, February 22nd in the year 2023, and this episode is brought to us by our good friends at FanDuel Sportsbook, official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit FanDuel.com/locked on today to get started. During this episode, we will discuss if Chris Holtmann deserves a shot to clean up the mess that is this year's basketball season, and Zed Key might not play another basketball game this year. But before we get to any of that, I have been thinking about ways to tie in different thoughts about the NFL draft into this show. And into my head popped the thought, what if CJ Stroud and Justin Fields can begin to change the narrative about Buckeye quarterbacks in the National Football League? Not Buckeye quarterbacks in college, but once they get to the NFL, many of them are not successful. Troy Smith wins the Heisman. I don't believe he started a game in the National Football League. Terrell Pryor, Buckeye quarterback, winning bowl games, won the Rose Bowl, I believe won the Sugar Bowl as well. Ultimately, went to play receiver in the National Football League. Dwayne Haskins was starting, I do believe was going to start over the next couple of years to play better football. Had a rough start to his NFL career, and unfortunately, he is no longer here with us. Braxton Miller switches position in college, played NFL receiver for a hot minute, no longer in the National Football League. You get the picture. Generally, Buckeye quarterbacks, great in college, that is not how they are in the NFL. And then comes these two quarterbacks, Justin Fields, CJ Stroud. They were once Buckeye teammates, and now they still are wearing the scarlet and gray, or repping the scarlet and gray in the National Football League. And these two young men can begin to change the narrative about Buckeye quarterbacks in the National Football League. It's interesting when you think about Fields in this conversation, because he's already doing it a little bit, but he has to work on his arm, work on the accuracy. The Bears need to get him a lot of weapons and guys in front of him to block him. But I think if Justin Fields begins to show growth, Justin Fields finds ways to use his legs and his arm, and use his arm more than his legs to move the ball down the field, I believe Fields is one of those quarterbacks that people can say is changing the narrative about Buckeye quarterbacks. Now, let me just say this. There might be people out there, because there will be somebody, Fields played at two schools. Fields was developed at Georgia. Fields was developed at Ohio State. Okay, great. If you want to be that guy, cool. But I still think Justin Fields would say he is an Ohio State Buckeye, played quarterback there, started there, led the team to two playoff berths, led the team to a national championship game appearance. Great quarterback in college. And so I still think Justin Fields represents an Ohio State quarterback in the National Football League. Now let's think about CJ Stroud. Now, Stroud has done in the NFL yet. We all believe he's going to get drafted at some point, probably top 5, at worst 10, 9, but that's at worst. Probably for sure top 5, and I do think there will be a team or teams that will be thinking about, or the news will get leaked that they are considering moving up in the NFL draft. When it comes to CJ Stroud, it's going to be a mixture of two things. Take that great arm talent, the throws that you make, and the electricity that you have while on the football field. Take that to the next level, and couple that with a brain and a mindset that is unique to you and use your skill set to be a great quarterback at the next level. Now, when I say great quarterback, I'm not saying he's going to win a Super Bowl. That is hard, man. That is really, really hard. Phillip Rivers was a great quarterback in the National Football League, did not win a Super Bowl. Dan Marino, great quarterback in the NFL, did not win a Super Bowl. Now, I am a person that does not believe you are only a great quarterback if you win a Super Bowl. I am not that person. I am somebody that can tell you and look at you and say, oh, you're progressing. Things are clicking. Oh, mistakes, adjustments are made. You're getting better every day. Every single day, CJ Stroud is improving. And a lot of Stroud's improvement we're not going to see in the stat sheet. It's all going to be mental. It's all going to be how he handles the media. It's all going to be how he works. It's all going to be how his teammates look at him. It's all going to be about what's up here in his brain. If you're watching via the YouTube, you're seeing a little bit more you're seeing where I'm pointing my finger. It's at my head because it's all going to be up here for Stroud. But these two guys together, now I say tag team, they're not able to do this being on the same football team. Everybody knows that. However, if Stroud is doing it on whatever team that drafts him, say it's the Texans or the Colts or what's the Raiders? That was the team I was thinking about. Or the Raiders, whatever team it is, great. Fields in Chicago, or maybe the Bears trade him, which would be stupid. Great. You're doing it in two different franchises, and then all of a sudden, no matter if it's Kyle McCord or Devin Brown, they're seeing a path that Ryan Day is paving for the quarterback, saying, hey, you can be great here, be developed here, and be great in the NFL as well, and this could be a trend for Buckeye quarterbacks if these two players begin to change the narrative about Buckeye quarterbacks and them not being successful in the National Football League. We might see more people consider drafting Buckeye quarterbacks in the NFL draft. From the NFL draft and Justin Fields and CJ Stroud to Chris Holtmann and the mess that is this year's Ohio State basketball season. Didn't want to go this route, but this is another topic that I do believe is important for today. Should Chris Holtmann get another chance to clean up the mess that is the Buckeyes 2022-2023 college basketball season? We'll discuss that next right here on Locked on Buckeyes. This episode is brought to us by our good friends at FanDuel. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Because new customers get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and you'll love this next part. It's super easy to use. Then you can bet on everything from the money line to point scorers and threes drained. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same-game parlay. So don't miss the chance to get your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Thanks again for making Locked on Buckeyes your first listen every day. Make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked on College Basketball. It provides you with everything you need to know about college basketball, and it can all be found in one place. Plus, hear from big name experts, insiders, coaches, and players. Locked on College Basketball is available on YouTube and wherever you get your fine podcasts. So the Ohio State basketball season in 2022 is almost over. The Buckeyes, I do believe, have 4 games left. 3 of the 4 games remaining on their schedule are at home. Home against Penn State, home against Illinois, home against Maryland. Then you go on the road to East Lansing on March the 4th to close out the regular season. Yes, there's a game in the Big Ten Conference Tournament. They'll probably play on Wednesday, and they'll probably lose that game. I have lost faith in this team and my belief, and me believing that they'll win another basketball game this year. This season has been a disaster. It wasn't all because of what's happened in season. Sometimes the way things are prior to the season and the way the team is constructed and the way the mindset is of coaching, sometimes those things that happen preseason, those set your team back and from having all the success in the season. Now, the Buckeyes started out hot. That all fizzled out once you played Big Ten basketball. I will not sit here and say the Big Ten has the best basketball in the country. I will never say that. I'm not even a Big Ten homer. More Big Ten homer in basketball than in football, but I'm still not a Big Ten homer in either conference. That's not me. One thing I like is a team that's good, a team that plays sound, fundamental basketball. Not saying you got to be the pass. I'm not saying you got to be that, but fundamentals. They have to be sound. They have to be crisp. They have to be consistent. That ain't this team. And then comes this thought. Should Chris Holtmann get another chance to clean up the mess that is this season? Some of you say yes. I say no. Now, if I were to say yes, I would say Chris Holtmann would be within his second or third year. The first 2 years go well. All of a sudden, third year is a little bad. I think he should get the right to clean up the mess that he has this season. Chris Holtmann's in his, fifth or sixth year coaching the basketball team? Let me look this up really quickly to get this correct so I'm not spewing out any wrong figures. So people will end up saying, oh, well, Chris Holtmann. Let me just get it correct right now. But Chris Holtmann in this season, I think we have all seen, something ain't right. Something ain't clicking. Something is not going the way that it should go. 1, 2, 3. This is Chris Holtmann's sixth season at Ohio State. And right now in the season, the Buckeyes are 11-16. My goodness, that's bad. That's horrible. The last time Chris Holtmann had a record this bad, this atrocious, his first 2 years coaching in college. They were both at Gardner-Webb. Finished his first year coaching at Gardner-Webb 11-21. The second year finished 12-20. And since then, from the 2012-2013 season all the way till now, till last season, Chris Holtmann has won at least 20 games in every season. Did not coach at all in college basketball in the 2013-2014 season at the head coaching level. The very next year became the head coach at Butler. 23 wins, 22 wins, and 25 wins as Butler's head basketball coach. I don't know what's going on this year because this is unlike anything Chris Holtmann has done at Butler or at Ohio State. Big East, Big Ten, you got to bring it. You got to play sound basketball every time. So you may want to say, Jay, you got away from it, and we're getting back to where the topic is. If I were to say yes, the only way I would say yes, Chris Holtmann gets a second chance or a chance to clean up this mess, is if he's a second-year coach or a third-year coach. In the first 2 years, we're good. One may be average. Second year being really, really good. I mean, you got to be pretty decent in your first year for me to say yes if you flop like this in your third year. But that's the only chance. I have seen enough, and I have been trying to stay on the Chris Holtmann train for as long as I can. I am not a person that tries to hop off of things. I'm not when it comes to trends in the world, when it comes to trends in clothing and fashion and things like that. I am late to the party, buddy. I will tell you that all the time. Some trends I don't hop on. The whole buying Jordans and being a sneakerhead. I got shoes in my closet. I'm probably buying some more this weekend. Your boy's not a sneakerhead. That ain't me. When it comes to the jersey game, I got some nice jerseys in my closet. Tracy McGrady, alternate. Kobe Bryant, home jersey for the Lakers. LeBron James Cavs jersey when he got drafted the first time around. My brother had a LeBron James high school jersey. That's in my closet. Got a Michael Jordan Wizards jersey. That's in my closet. They got a Paul George Pacers jersey. That's in my closet. Like my jersey game is cool, but my jersey game is not like some people where you're dropping $150, $200 consistently on jerseys. But that ain't me. That ain't me. I could. I choose to spend my funds in a different way. So I'm not always on those trends. I don't hop on those. Never. I could. I don't hop on those. A trend that I have been late to and slow to is getting off the Chris Holtmann train. But I think the train is coming to a halt. And when you get them to a halt, it's time for the passengers to get off the train. And Chris Holtmann being one of the passengers on the Chris Holtmann train, buddy, it's time for you to go. Because it's not just this season. There is a time when Chris Holtmann's teams do not get the best of the talent, do not capitalize on the talent, do not get the chemistry. If I'm trying to rely on a Justice Sueing, well, Justice Sueing needs somebody he can lean on and ride on and be a great second piece or a Robin too in that moment, but he ain't no Scottie Pippen, Batman, Robin. No. He ain't no Scottie Pippen, no Robin. He not no Kobe Bryant to a Shaq Robin. No. This ain't that. He has limitations on both ends of the court. One limitation this team has is this team is not good at playing defense. Ooh-wee. This team is not good at the defense. And that's on Chris Holtmann. I have watched, and I keep going back to his Butler days. I watched him coach at Butler. I saw him get everything out of those players consistently every year. And for a Butler team that does not recruit like the other elite teams, like the elite teams in the Big East that he was going up against, he found a way to coach, to gravitate towards them, for them to be the best unit they could be. I don't know what changed. I don't know if he just can't connect with these guys. I don't know what's wrong. But this is the time, man. I understand G. Smith is probably going to keep Chris Holtmann. And the last thing I remember that Gene Smith said, or the one that sticks out of my mind, is Gene Smith talked about the recruiting. Oh, recruiting class is great. He's a good recruiter. He's good at his job. He can recruit this guy, that guy. He can recruit. Buddy, I don't care if you're the best recruiter in the world. If you ain't developing talent and orchestrating chemistry on the basketball court to get the guys to play above their level, I don't care about recruiting. Develop, win. Develop and win. It's that simple. It's not happening. And this may be a one-off in the record book, but we have seen this before. We have seen Holtmann teams not be great down the stretch. We have seen Holtmann teams not be all they can be, or maybe that is all they could that they can be with Holtmann calling the shots. I don't know what. Okay, I call out Justice Sueing. I know he's not the only issue. I know that there are other guys that are there, so I'm not going to say, "Oh, Justice Sueing." I'm not going to be that guy. I will say this though: should Chris Holtmann get a chance to clean up the mess of this season? No, it's time to move on. Gene Smith, it's time to move on. Go find another coach. Chris Beard might be available. Go find another coach. Chris Beard might be available. Go find another coach. And see the Buckeye basketball team play better during next year's season, because this year's season, buddy, it's a wrap. What also might be a wrap in this season is Zed Key's season this year. Had an injury, had a setback in the most recent game against the Iowa Hawkeyes, and he's talking to his family about what his next move might be to repair his shoulder. What all's going on? Well, we'll discuss that next right here on Locked On Buckeyes. This episode is brought to us by Billiards Plus. Billiards Plus has the best selection of pool tables, game tables, shuffleboard tables, and more. And the best service in Central Ohio. Billiards Plus also can set you up with a brand new top-of-the-line grill that will last for generations. We all know how hard it is with the supply chain issues this year and getting certain things shipped on time. So when it comes to ordering that one big gift for someone you love, check out Billiards Plus and get there early this year. Pick something out and get it sooner than you think. You never know. You order something and delivery man has it at your door a day early. It is a gift the whole family will enjoy year-round. Billiards Plus carries the best pool tables from Brunswick, Olahausen, Canada, Billiards, and more. Plus, top-of-the-line grills from PK, Napoleon, Memphis, and La Griddle. That will be the last grill you own. Seriously, these grills stand the test of time. No matter the season, Billiards Plus has you covered for all your indoor and outdoor entertainment needs. Visit their showroom on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin. Check them out at billiards-plus.com. Billiards Plus, family owned and operated for generations. Sports betting is now legal in Ohio, and Locked On has the perfect show to help new and seasoned gamblers. Download and subscribe to Locked On Bets for daily picks and analysis wherever you get your fine podcast. Let's put ourselves in Zed Key's shoes. Zed Key comes into the season. Here we all hear about how he has a green light from 3. See a nice stroke from him. Pure, smooth. Been working on that jump shot. See growth. See how he can be a go-to piece of the pie for the Buckeyes offense during this season. All of a sudden, I think it was an ankle injury. I think the shoulder injury was first. Missed some games, came back. It was an ankle injury. Missed some time. He has never been the same. The Zed Key we saw early in the season, and you could see some games, I believe in the Duke game, was not what you would. He couldn't do it all, but you see Zed Key got attention. Zed Key passed the ball inside. He had different moves in the post. He had different moves he could do. He could take you outside and shoot a little bit. He was becoming a little bit more of a force down low for the Ohio State Buckeyes this season. Injuries set him back. And I'm not saying that's the issue. That's the main issue with this Buckeye basketball team, but it is an issue. Zed Key not being on the court, not being fully healthy, not just being on the court. Zed Key not being fully healthy has been a problem for this team this year because the team was built with Zed Key being healthy, and they don't have much height. If they got height, they don't have much size. You got Zed Key, about 250, 255, about 6'8". You got Felix Akpara, about 6'11", about 210, 215. You got Owen Spencer, don't get much clock. The last time we saw him on the court, 4 fouls in 6 minutes, 6'9", 215 pounds. Yeah, you got Eugene Brown III listed at 6'7", but he's not no big man. Yeah, you got Kalen Etzel off the bench, but he's a wing at 6'8", not a big man. The team was not constructed to have to play tall, play big. It was not built that way. And that's part of the reason why Zed Key's injury is so big. And Zed Key is talking with his family about the possibility, about what the next steps might be. Is it surgery? Is it playing? Is transferring on the table? Like, I don't know. I mean, it might be. I anticipate a few guys transferring at the end of the season. Some might be freshmen, and you might get Bryce Sensabaugh to go to the NBA, and I don't think he's ready for the NBA right now. I still think he's a phenomenal freshman. I think he could be the Big Ten Player of the Year next year if he stays at Ohio State and develops like I think he can develop. But I don't know. All I know is this. For Zed Key, take care of yourself. Take care of yourself, man. Y'all ain't going to win the Big Ten Conference Tournament. Y'all should not get an invite to a postseason tournament. Take care of yourself. The least amount of games the Buckeyes have left are 5. Full regular season and at least 1 game in the Big Ten Conference Tournament. A game against Penn State tomorrow, a game against Illinois on Sunday, a game against Maryland in the middle of next week, and then on March the 4th on a Saturday, a game against Michigan State. I think the Buckeyes lose all 4 of those games, and if they play Minnesota or whoever they play in the Big Ten Conference Tournament, they're going to lose that game too. This team is not – take care of yourself. Even if they're going to win or maybe they make a deeper run in the conference tournament, take care of yourself. And if taking care of yourself means you not playing anymore and you getting surgery and you rehabbing and starting that process now, so be it. That's it. So be it. If you guys think transferring is the best move for you, and whenever the portal opens, you hop in the transfer portal, do it. I'm not saying like don't fight. I'm not doing it. If you feel that way, do it. Also, there's something to be said that if Zed Key stays, grinds, is a Buckeye next year, which I think I don't think he'll transfer. I think he'll be a Buckeye next year. There will be a lot of frustration. Zed Key's a good basketball player. If he tries to go to a better program, will he start? We'll see. I'm not too fond of that move, but hey, we gotta wait and see what happens. But Zed Key, take care of your body, man. I say do what you feel, but first and foremost, take care of your body. You only got one. Take care of it. Some people do it early in life. They prepare themselves for success down the road. Some people wait till later in life to do that. Just depends on how things are in your life at that time. But take care of your body, man. That's my only advice. And if that means not playing another game this season, so be it. We're out of here on this Wednesday edition of Locked On Buckeyes, thinking about doing a couple shows about unanswered questions about Ohio State's offense, Ohio State's defense, Ryan Day, all of the above. Not sure. That might come next week in a series of shows before we start and get ready for spring practice, which starts on March the 7th. The spring game is on April the 15th. I hope to see some of you there. You can follow me on Twitter at jstevens07. You can send all of your emails to jstevens317 at gmail.com. Thanks for making Locked On Buckeyes your first listen today. For your second listen, check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Experts Isaac Shade and Andy Patton bring you everything you need to know on and off the court. Plus, hear from big-name experts, coaches, and players throughout the basketball landscape. Locked On College Basketball is available on YouTube and wherever you get your fine podcasts.